Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and I have done a tidy, kind of. I've gone through my books to see if there were any books that I could sort of unhaul to take to the charity shop to make space for more books because I'm running out of space. So I have 2 bags of maybe 80% books, 20% clothes. Clothes with tags that I did not send back, but you know, my loss is the charity shop's gain. So we are going to go and take them into town, clear some space. Then we're going to go for brunch. Our plan is to go to our favourite cafe, because I have a favourite cafe, is a place called Second Home. But it recently kind of changed owners and it's the same cafe. Sorry, my necklace is not right and it's annoying me. It recently changed ownership. So we're going to go there and just see, is it still the same lovely cafe or has it changed? Dunno. So that's the plan. Charity shop, have a little nosy in the charity shop, brunch, home, books. That's my plan. I'm going to tell you what I'm reading in this vlog though, because I have a habit of forgetting to mention that. I have 3 books that I'm planning to finish in this video. I have an audiobook called This Immaculate Body by Emma Van Straten. I have my iPad for notes. And this is about a woman who is a cleaner and she is, shall we say, in love with the man she works for. Kind of feels like it's maybe going to be more obsessive than romantic. This book came to me, well, it didn't come to me. It wasn't a direct recommendation, but one of my favourite comedians, Fern Brady, had posted about this book. And it was under the US title, which is Creep, which is what makes me think it's going to be creepy, not romantic. One of my friends has already read this and told me I'm going to like it. And I was like, 2 recommendations. I will go with it. And then I have 2 physical books that I'm going to be reading in this video. And they are the last of my June TBR books, Blood on Her Tongue, and a book that I just really wanted to read, Chlorine. This, I've already said what this is about, but if you haven't watched my TBR video, that's fine. This book is about sisters, one of whom is kind of possessed by a potential vampire kind of thing. Bog woman, we don't know yet. And her sister is basically trying to save her from going to an asylum, being put in an asylum. And the book takes place in the 1880s in Holland. And it's, I don't know, all I know is that it's going to be kind of vampire-y, kind of gothic. That's it. It's enough for me to pick it up. And Chlorine, this book is about a competitive swimmer who dreams of being a mermaid. It's quite short, but I'm in. Yes, gonna go to town, do my things. I will let you know if I end up getting anything nice in the charity shop and if the cafe is as delightful as it once was. I hope it will be. I'm sure it will. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we went to the cafe and it feels like nothing has changed. The menu is slightly different, but it's still super cozy, really affordable, delicious. And a man played on the piano. There's a piano there. If you've not been, it's, imagine a charming cafe with art supplies. That's it. And there's coffee, which is really good. A man just went and sat at the piano and just basically put on like a little concert. Charming. And we had a great time. So I am kind of relieved. I always get a little anxious when somewhere I really like changes. You're like, is it going to be the same? Is it going to be like really different and lose like the core of what makes it so like lovely? But fear gone. I had a lovely time. The bad news is for my bank balance because I bought some stuff at the charity shop. I didn't spend a fortune. I didn't even get these at the charity shop. I got these at the CEX. I'm not really sure what that shop would be. I don't know if it's just a UK shop. Basically a place where like people exchange like DVDs and electronics and things, and then you can buy them and they're second hand. I bought DVDs because it's 2025 and I'm getting back into DVDs purely because I got sick and tired of trying to find things I want to watch on streaming. And they're things that I like maybe already own on DVD, and I thought, well, why don't I just have a DVD player and then I have the thing. I could just watch the thing and I don't need to work out which streaming service is on, and we can maybe stop our Disney Plus subscription because there were like 2 things I watched on Disney Plus, both of which I own on DVD. So I don't need that. And that will save us some money. So I got some DVDs and I'll show you them. I got the Scream trilogy. Scream 1, 2 and 3, and I got Scream 4. I haven't actually seen all of these. I got Nightmare on Elm Street. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Oh no, apparently 1 to 7. I think I've only seen 1, but this was not £15 because I got the whole lot for £36, something like that. It was, like, teenage me would have lost their mind at how many DVDs I managed to get. I like the first one of this. I'm hopeful that the other 6 are maybe just formulaic, like the best franchises, and it just does the same thing. I got another bunch of horrors because it's the season. I got the first 4 Final Destination films. I will at some point get the 5th one, and I really want to see the 6th one. I've been told, the new one that's at the cinema, that is kind of different, but like in a good way. I've had a few people recommend it to me. I'm probably not going to go to the cinema, but when it comes out, I'm going to watch it and I'm excited. And then the only non-horror thing I got was Still Game. I absolutely love Still Game. I don't know if this was ever shown outside of Scotland. I don't know actually. If you don't know what this is, it is about Scottish pensioners, except they're played by people who are like, I think when it started the actors were like 40 and they're playing these wee old men, and it's hilarious and it's so funny and it's so heartwarming and I just absolutely love it. It never fails to just cheer me up. It's one of the most perfect Scottish series and it is a jam. If you haven't watched this, see if you can find it because it's funny. I had a look at the books as well while I was there, but there were no books that I really wanted. I'm trying really hard to not just mindlessly purchase books because that's not a good thing to do. I'm only really getting books if they're things that I really would quite like and plan to actually read at some point. If I see them in a charity shop though, you know, of course I would get it because it's probably not going to be there next time around. But I didn't see anything. So my shelves, they're still, I'm going to leave them. Really, I'm just going to leave them kind of open, gap-toothed, and fill them as and when. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to go and read some books just now. I have started a new play of Animal Crossing. I started playing Animal Crossing back in lockdown with the rest of the world. And I stopped playing it just before I got into Stardew Valley on the Switch. And I forgot how rage-inducing it makes me because it's so slow-paced. And the dialogue, I don't want the dialogue. I don't want people on my island. Don't want the slow dialogue. Does Tom Nook even work? He's just taking all my bells. And yeah. But there's something about it that I've just gotten into playing it. And I think I quite like the collecting. It's the collecting of things that I really enjoy. But I'm going to go play that while I finish my audiobook. I always play with the sound off. I don't like playing games with the sound on. I have no idea what KK Slider sounds like because I never listened to him. I'm gonna go do that, finish my audiobook. Yeah, plan. I have my face mask. And I have my smoothie. This is a strawberry collagen smoothie and it's delicious. I made it before. And I have my book. I have this much left and it's getting finished and I have no idea what's gonna happen other than my face mask is gonna dry, my smoothie's gonna get drunk, I'm gonna read my book and then I'll get dressed. It is my birthday today and we are going out. The original plan was that we were going to go and do the Aberdeen tour bus. I'm very excited about this bus. However, we have really heavy rain today. It's like massive droplets of rain. I do not want to sit on an open top tour bus during heavy rain. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that would be the best way to spend my day. So we had a backup plan, which was that we were going to go to the art gallery to see the Monsters of the Deep exhibit. It's on my list of things I want to do in summer, and we're going to do it. My boyfriend has got an appointment first thing this morning. So the plan is we are going to go into town. We're going to get coffee. We're probably going to get soaked by the rain. That's not something we want to do, but it's something we have to do. And I'm going to have some time to fill while my partner's at his appointment. So I'm going to be reading Chlorine by Jade Song. I have already started it and it is really good so far. I think I'm going to love it, but do I not always start books saying that? But I really do. I only asked for one thing for my birthday this year. All I wanted. I'm not a big birthday present person. I kind of feel really uncomfortable when I get gifts, which is great. I asked for one thing and it was this. Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang. So my mum and my stepdad bought me this and I'm very excited. I loved Natural Beauty and I think I'm going to love this. As far as I know, and I didn't know a lot other than Ling Ling Huang had another book and oh, I wanted it. This book is about a relationship between two women, two artists, and one of them realizes she could maybe go inside the other one's mind. That's what I'm fairly certain this book is about. I'm not going to have time to finish this book in this vlog, but I'm hoping to maybe have it in the next one or in the one after that. This is getting vlogged because I know I love this author. I have my hat on. I am ready. I'm going to go out in the rain. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to go and see some deep sea monsters of the deep. And I'm going to come home and have a really fun afternoon of just not working. That's the truest gift. A day off. I have book updates. I have adventure updates too. I apologise right now, the sound might suck. We're having a heat wave. Can you tell? So the windows are open. It's hot. It's 34 degrees in this room. It's 24 degrees outside. Make that make sense. I had the most wonderful birthday. We went to another new cafe. That's 2 new cafes this month. We went to, this cafe was called Common Sense. and it's owned by the same people who own Books and Beans, which is another cafe that I tend to go to with some degree of regularity. It was lovely. The guy was so nice that worked there. It was chucking it with rain, in contrast to how the weather is right now. And I just sat there and I read some of Chlorine, which I've now finished. And then we went to the art gallery and we went to the Monsters of the Deep exhibit. It was amazing. I have been to a few of the sort of paid exhibits at the art gallery, and this is my favourite so far. I have a very healthy fear / respect for the deep sea. I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. I'm not wanted in there. But I really liked it. It was so interesting. It was just fascinating. And I had the best day. I also have 3 books to tell you about. I'm going to tell you them in order of least liked, most liked. And I just had a coughing fit. That's fun. I'm going to start with Blood on Her Tongue. This book is in parts, and with every part, I liked the book less and less, unfortunately. I loved part 1. In part 1, we get to meet the 2 sisters. So Sarah is the lady who discovers a bog woman. A woman in a bog. And this woman has a stone in her mouth. Her canines have been taken away. She's been staked in this bog. This does not seem like a... There seems like there's a story here, but nobody bothers to ask the story. Sarah then starts to behave differently. Lucy is called to basically look after her sister, and there are a lot of concerns. I was really interested at this moment. I was like, that's cool. What's going on with that woman in the bog? Because I'm getting vampire vibes. Canines missing, stakes. You know where this was going, or at least I thought I knew where it was going. And from there, I kind of lost my interest. I whizzed through part 1, and then after that point, I found the book really easy to put down. The pacing was very, very slow. And I'm fine with a slow pace as long as it is building to something. But there was a lot of go girl, give us nothing, which is kind of a shame because there was promise. And I feel like that's the most disappointing thing, is that there was promise. I had heard this book being referred to as like a sapphic vampire story, and I was like, sweet, I'm in. But it wasn't, and I would also argue it's not a vampire story. I'm not the law of whether something is or isn't a vampire story, but to me this felt more of a parasite than a vampire. And had I sort of known that, I wouldn't really have picked this up with, you know, such enthusiasm as I did, because I love a vampire story. But I don't know. I didn't really want a parasite story. I wanted a vampire. I wanted vampire goings on. And all throughout the book, we're sort of living in a bit of fear of the men in the story. We have a husband who is he's a rich man with power in the 1880s. He's not the nicest guy. He's also abusive to the dog. No. And there is a doctor who's like a childhood friend to the women. And there's a fear that they're going to send Sarah, who has been changed by her experience with the bog woman. They're wanting to send her to the asylum. And her sister Lucy is like, no, we don't want that to happen. And then Sarah does a lot of things that are like, how can you defend this woman's actions? I don't want to stand up for these rich guys in the 1880s, but I can see their logic. Mild spoiler here. So if you want to read this book, skip ahead like, I don't know, 30 seconds. She bites and eats 3 fingers of a lady. 3. And then after that, they're like, maybe she's insane. Maybe she's, something's not right. And you can see the logic, because that's not something that a well person would do. I found this to be kind of underwhelming, sadly. The sort of sapphic romance elements were very, very small and kind of throwaway comments at best, really. It was gory, it was visceral, it was atmospheric. I did really like the sort of gothic vibes. I got gothic vibes from it. But I felt the story was really lacking for me, and I just felt the pacing was really off and there wasn't a lot of payoff. And by the end I was like, I don't know if I really care to know. You know, like when you finish a book and you're like, I wonder what happened to these people next. I don't wonder with these people. So, kind of disappointed, but it's okay. I'm starting with the one I like the least. Next is my audiobook, and I have notes. This Immaculate Body. In a contrast, this book was extremely fast-paced and I was whizzing through it. I love this book. I gave this 4 stars, like a 4.25. We have our main character. Her name is Alice. She is a cleaner for Tom, and she has this belief that if only Tom and she would cross paths, that he would fall in love with her. I know, who among us has not thought that of a stranger? Like, yeah, fair enough. But Alice has also made up this entire kind of fake relationship that she has shared with her family, her colleagues, and they all think she is dating this person called Tom, who is like, that's the lady who cleans my house. I've never met her. So Alice basically uses her job as a cleaner to get to know Tom better, to get to know what he likes, to read through his emails, to see what he eats, to develop a taste for those fancy cornichons that are only available from that special little delicatessen. And she is obsessed with Tom, and it's kind of creepy. And I found this book made me feel so actually unwell reading it. It was very tense, and you're reading it going, she's going to get caught. He's going to come back. Somebody's going to come back. Somebody's going to notice what she's doing. She's going to get caught. This is not okay. These are not the actions of a well person. And it was very, very like uneasy reading, but like in an entertaining way. And this was a really good example of like, I don't need to like the character to like the story. I just need to be entertained, because I don't want to be friends with Alice. She scares me. But I loved the story, and I was hooked, and I felt unwell. It was chaotic, but it was very, very beautifully written. It was very descriptive and just very easy to consume, and so creepy. I feel that the alternative title, I believe in the US, is called Creep, and yeah, I can see it, but I kind of like the UK title as well, because it really embodies Alice's belief that Tom is absolutely just perfect. Her actions are just absolutely batty. Like, she befriends an old man that she believes to be Tom's granddad and is like, that's my in. That's my in. If, you know, us just crossing paths and the street doesn't work. If you like chaos like I do, yeah, you'll enjoy this. But it's very just, oh, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. Someone's gonna come around the corner. Oh, uneasy, but really good. And the final book that I'm going to be chatting about is Chlorine, which focuses on Ren, who is a competitive swimmer. She's 17, and she starts the book. It's not a spoiler. She starts the book as a mermaid, and then it's one of those, well, I bet you're wondering how I ended up here kind of stories. And we get to go back and see what brought Ren from the world of being a human to being a mermaid, reminiscing on her days. This is, I would say, first and foremost, a tale of obsession. She is obsessed with swimming, with being better at swimming, with being a mermaid, and kind of separates herself from humans and is like, nah, I'm not like you. And we get to sort of share in her obsession with swimming, and she's so driven and she's so passionate, but she's also just dreaming of like mermaid time is coming. This is kind of at its core also a sort of coming of age story. She goes through a lot in this book, a lot of very, I would say, relatable teenage moments, not with the mermaid, the other things. And there's a lot of sort of angst, relatable angst in this book. The writing is exquisite. It is so beautifully written, so descriptive. There are some scenes in this book that are very very visceral, and I'm a queasy girl and I'm a sweaty girl because it's hot. I felt a little nauseated reading some of this, but in a way that I was like, don't care, gonna keep reading it. The relationship between her and her bestie is so beautiful. I also really like the relationship between her and her mother, and it was just, oh, the human elements of this book, even though she was like, I'm not a human, the human elements were there, and the sort of vulnerability and the desire and the passion, and it was just, I have no complaints about this book other than like, no, I think it was the perfect length. It's not long. I finished it in a day. It was just perfect. I wasn't sure of the timing of when this was set because it kind of gave me like 90s coming of age vibes, but I think it is more contemporary than that. I'm just likening things to my own youth, and that's not how everything works. There are mainly chapters from Ren's perspective, but we also get letters from her best friend as well, so that you can see things from different perspectives, and it just really fully rounded the book. It was just an utterly perfect book. It was weird, it was disgusting at times, it made me boke at times, it also made me sob profusely. These last 50 pages, it took me forever to read because I was just reading through my tears, and I didn't want to put the book down because I was having a fantastic time. I want to read more books by this author. Does Jadesong have more books? Because I would like them to have more books so that I could read more books by them. I feel like I've ever been as passionate about any sport as Ren was about swimming. In high school, no, I didn't really, like, I did gymnastics, but I have done many things, many activities with zero aptitude, none, no talent, no skill, but a lot of effort went into my mediocre performances. I don't think I've ever felt that passionate about anything as Ren did. I don't think. Maybe roller derby came close, but I was an adult, and there's a certain vibe that happens there. But it was just, the passion was just kind of inspiring. And I know that's not the point, like, not to the lengths that Ren went to, but, you know, admirable. But yes, to summarize, because I'm rambling and I'm sweltering, the writing was perfect. The pacing was perfect. It gave relatable small town kid coming of age. The friendship was beautiful. The parental relationship felt real, felt really realistic. My heart broke. And it was just a really powerful, strong read. Loved it. No notes. Other than, like, I'm going to recommend to everyone they read this. I will be shocked if this book does not make it onto my favourite books for 2025. I'll be shocked if this isn't my favourite book for June. Probably is. There's still time, I can read other books, but I don't know if anything's gonna beat this. And I hope my friends are excited for me talking all about this when we have our next catch up, because I loved it. So yeah, working my way from least favourite to most favourite, and I'm so warm. I'm going to go downstairs and I've got a desk fan. I'm going to find that desk fan and just sit in front of it. I'm not built for heat. Let me know what you've been reading lately, if you've read any of these books, or if you like any of the films. I hope I filmed my film haul earlier. I got films, DVDs, bring them back. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!